For those playing Pokemon trading card game live, you will get 8, I think it's 9 decks to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 decks to start. And I will say kudos to the Pokemon Company for the decks that they've chosen. These are actually pretty solid decks. And not only are they pretty good out of the box, but you can upgrade them with your credits to be like fully formed versions of top tier decks. Love to see it. And I think in their current state, they're pretty good. But in this video, and if you're watching this live on stream, we're going to talk about some of the decks that I have fully formed versions of, and we'll talk about what adjustments to make, and we'll hop back and forth between the old game and the new game so you can see exactly the changes I've made between how they appear in the new game versus what you should upgrade and take out in order to make them the best versions of those decks that they can be. Let's start out with Zacian and Zamazenta. This is a classic Sword and Shield era combo. Of course, Zacian V with Intrepid Sword allows you to draw the top 3 cards of your deck, attach any energy that you get, swipe for 230. And this deck is, of the ones that are in here right now, like, it's solid, it's got the core, but there's a lot of extra pieces that you don't necessarily need. For example, I think the core cards that you want, your Zashian is here, your Zamazenta's here, your Oranguru is here. Some extra cards in here, like Dialga, you don't need this at all. You don't need Galarian Meowth or Galarian Berserker. You can just take those cards out right now. Crobat, even, you probably don't need, though it's not the worst to have. And there's a couple of other cards in here as well that may, like the Coding Energy, you probably don't need either. And so let's go and look at my deck list here. And this is one that is, popularized by, I believe it's Josh Sutherland, pro player who plays this deck a lot. And some of the cards that are in here instead, as you can see, the Zamazenta count is the same, but we add 2 more Zashians to make that a total of 4. We take out the Crobat and we have 2 Oranguru instead. And I think one of these decks has Oranguru. Oh yeah, Oranguru's already in the sorry about that. Oranguru's in the current list, so don't worry about that. But in terms of trainer cards, we do keep the Metal Saucers. We do have 4 Quick Balls. Yep, that's in there too. Rotom Phone is one of the big differences here. And Rotom Phone is a very cool card, which allows you to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose one of them, and shuffle it to the top. And one of the great strats you can do here is use Rotom Phone, get an energy, put it at the top of your deck, and then use Zashian's Intrepid Sword for a guaranteed extra attachment. Pretty sick way of going about it. Some other cards that need to go, like you don't need the Ordinary Rod in there. Instead, we've got stuff like the Crystal Caves. This is one of the newer trainers from Evolving Skies. Allows you to heal 30 HP from all metal Pokemon. Of course, healing your Zacian Zamazenta is pretty sweet. We've also got some Tool Scrappers in here to get rid of stuff like Cape of Toughness, Air Balloons, Tool Jammers, anything like that. And I think one of the big ones is their boss's orders in the version that they gave you 3 boss's orders. That's fine. We actually run 4 here. Most decks I run only have 3 boss's orders, but in this one, it comes with 4. And boss's orders is such a great card. I mean, it's a super annoying card. No one likes to be bossed. But it allows you to switch your opponent's active Pokemon with one of their bench. So pretty much lets you snipe or knock out whatever you want. And it's an incredibly powerful card. I would add 1 more to the live deck here. And is there anything else that I would adjust? Switching back here. Energy count, 12 energy is fine. And I would add 2 more Capes of Toughness for 2. And I think we take out 1 balloon as well. Oh, and we take out the Bird Keepers. You don't need those. The 4 switches and the air balloons are fine. So I will put the deck lists for these all in the YouTube video afterwards. So you can just copy paste them straight into PTCGL. So yeah, just go grab those over there. A couple of other decks that I do have built out include Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. This one is actually pretty close to the genuine article. I love the fact that the deck gives you the Inteleon line. The League Battle deck doesn't come with that, which is kind of crazy, but it's awesome that it's here. And you get a 2/2 line of Urshifu V and VMAX. You get a Crobat in here, and this one's pretty close to the final, like the best version of the deck. Now, Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX as a deck, there's a lot of different ways to build it. I personally like to build it the Tord Reklev, the Melanie build. And so some of the changes I would make here is I would up the Remoraid Octillery count to 2 and 2. And that makes sure, like, if you prize the Octillery, you prize the Remoraid, like, this entire deck is screwed. So having 2 in there is a nice insurance policy for that. I would probably take out 1 of the Inteleon quick shooting. Like, you don't need all 4. You're never going to have all 4 evolved. So you can keep the 1 Shady Dealings Inteleon and then take 1 of these quick shootings out. I would also take out the Phalanx. You don't need that at all. I would up the Urshifu count by 1, or up this one up to 2, so that's 4 total, and I'd put 1 more Urshifu VMAX, so you've got a 4/3 line, nice coverage there, and some other stuff. Energy Search, you can probably take out. Like if you're playing the Melanie build, I would have 4 copies of Melanie in there, and then I would take the Energy Search out, and I would replace those with Capacious Bucket. We can take out the Ordinary Rod, don't need those. And yeah, everything else, I'll show you the list here. So I've talked about it at a high level, and we can show the actual list. Let me just close this, and we'll pull up my Urshifu deck here. Rapid Strike Urshifu. Here we go. So yeah, 1 Crobat, 1 Passimian, the 4/3 line of Urshifu VMAX. If you've got it, the Medicham V is a nice tech option, and the big thing is the move Yoga Loop, where you put the Rapid Strike energy on, and if you're able to knock something out with the two damage counters, you get an entire other turn, which can really change the complexion of a game. You probably won't play Medicham much, but in scenarios where you can, like you've just got the energy just a little short, like Medicham is so clutch. We've got the 2/2 line of Remoraid Octillery here, the 2 Inteleon, the quick shooting instead of 3, and then we've got Capacious Buckets, 4 Evolution Incense, 4 Quick Balls, 1 Scoop Up Net just in case you need to scoop something out of the active, or you want to reset the Shady Dealings Inteleon so you can keep evolving again to get more Shady Dealings. We've got the 4 Melanie again. This allows you to attach a water energy to a Pokemon V, and this is what makes this deck really click, is that after you do the Urshifu G-Max Rapid Flow, you can immediately on the next turn play your Rapid Strike energy onto Urshifu, use Melanie to reattach the discarded water energy, and Rapid Flow again. And a lot of decks just cannot handle taking back-to-back rapid flows. And if you can string like 3 in a row, like you're pretty much guaranteed to win. Pretty clutch. And 1 extra piece of tech here, the Echoing Horn, which allows you to take a basic Pokemon from your opponent's discard pile and put it back onto their bench. Which, you know, this is really great at the end of the game. You're 1 prize card short, and you just put a Sobble or something on the bench to then knock it out with G-Max Rapid Flow. Steal a win here and there. A couple of other decks, how to upgrade. I don't have the Decidueye Inteleon one. Malamar, we can talk about this one. This one's actually pretty close. If you're playing this on the ladder in ranked mode and you don't have any decks yet, I would actually recommend playing this one because it's very close to complete. It's got it's got the right amount of Inkays, Malamars. It's got the Minchinos. It's got the Octilleries in there as well. It's got the Corina's Focus, the Spiral Energies. I think the only thing I would change based on the list I've built, and let me see if I can pull mine up, or if I've built this deck yet. Yeah, I have built this one. Okay, so let's go over some of the differences here then. Oh, Athena with the emote storm. Hey Athena, how's it going? Making it rain emotes in the chat. So we'll take a quick second from the guide here. Everyone throw your emotes in, and then we'll go back to how to upgrade the deck. Oh, I've got the wrong footage in here. Oh, I'm gonna have to get new footage for the new game too. Oh no. All right, well, Athena making it rain. Love to see it. If you're watching this on YouTube, fast forward a little, but you really shouldn't. You really shouldn't. Enjoy partying with us here. Yeah, keep going. Athena with the solo emote storm. I hope you're doing well. All right, so yeah, the changes I would make to the Rapid Strike Malamar deck, you can cut the Octillery line from a 4-4 to a 3-2, and I would go 4-3 on Minccino instead. Minccino Chinchino. You can put some battle VIP passes in here to make sure that your setup is as wide as possible. In worst case scenario, Chinchino can just make do the battle passes to get even more cards into your deck. Rescue Carrier is a nice addition here as well. I'm not sure if the other one actually has it. It might. No, it doesn't have it. So Rescue Carrier is a card that lets you grab 2 Pokemon with 90 HP or less from your discard pile into your hand. So this is a great way to get your Inkays back on the field, or just get them in your hand to get that final hit against something big. And I think that those are kind of it in terms of the big, maybe like an extraordinary rod too. Otherwise, like I think the Malamar deck is secretly the best deck in here in its current state. In terms of, do we have a couple other ones? The Zashian, the Inteleon VMAX one. Okay, we can talk about this one. So the Inteleon VMAX deck is actually there's some stuff in here I don't like. What I would do, the Inteleon line that is in the Rapid Strike Urshifu deck, so this Rapid Strike Sobble, this Drizzile, and these Inteleons, I would put them all in this deck. I would take out the Suicune, I would take out the Oranguru, I would take out the Snorlax, you don't need them. I would lower the Snom and Frostmoth counts to 2-2. If you want, you might want to run a Suicune in here, you know, just as a backup. And otherwise, these are kind of okay. You can probably take out the ordinary rods as well, and this is too much energy at 12. So let's go look at my list, and this is, oh, I'd probably put Melanie in there too. There's a couple of ways of playing it. You can play it with Frostmoth, and I think I have here. Let me pull mine up. Inteleon VMAX. Yeah, let's use the Zapdos TCG version as a talking point. This one features 4-3 lines. So of course, with the V's and VMAXs, you usually want 4 V's, 3 VMAXs. The Inteleon line from the Urshifu deck, you can take out all those other Pokemon. And some of the big changes, Path to the Peak is a nice card you can run in this to shut down stuff like Mew Genesect, Shadow Rider, Zacian. And Melanie's another big card you're going to want in here to help accelerate energy a little more quickly. Otherwise, okay, maybe I overreact. Well, I wouldn't say I overreacted, because not having the Inteleon line here is pretty crazy. But most of the other trainer cards are pretty okay. Again, I'm going to put all of the deck lists into the video description afterwards, so you can just copy paste it into the new game. And yeah, 2 more. Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. This is, this one's a little tricky because the cards that go with Urshifu can be a little pricey. Well, okay, in the new one, it's not going to matter. I would up the count to, if you're going to play this with, I would try, get now you can get Umbreons. It's not even as hard in the new game. So I would go 3 Urshifu V, 2 VMAX, so keep that the same. Take out the Kubfu and Rapid Strike Urshifu, the dark one. Here, you can keep the Crobat. You do get your Urn of Vitality. You can probably take out, yeah, you can take out the fighting energy. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head which ones I have in there instead. But yeah, we can pull up the deck that I run. So we'll close this and Single Strike. Oh, I think I have it as SS. There we go. Single Strike Urshifu Umbreon. Again, yeah, so we'll keep the 4 Houndours and the 4 Houndooms. 3 Urshifu V, 2 VMAX, and then I would also go 3-2 on the Umbreon V and VMAX. These two go together very well because Umbreon covers Urshifu's weakness to Psychic and Umbreon's strong to Psychic. And also with Umbreon's Dark Signal ability, you can gust up a bench Pokemon into the active, which you can either use to, you know, have Urshifu knock them out or have Umbreon knock them out, or something to stall for time. Pretty great overall. Your standards Urn of Vitality, Tower of Darkness are here, along with your usual mix of Boss's Orders, Marnie, and Professor's Research. And yeah, this deck only runs 8 energy. I've got 4 Rapid Strike energy and then 4 Capture energy to help with your setup. You could also consider running Battle VIP Pass here as well instead of the Great Balls, but I'm gonna leave that up to you. If the Umbreons are too expensive and you're just trying to find something to fill that dark spot, you could also consider Fusion Strike Yveltal or Morpeko. So let me pull those ones up. You're either looking for Yveltal, the Single Strike one with Single Strike Wings or Dark Cutter, and this has the ability with the Single Strike energy on there to knock out Mew VMAX in 1 hit. Or you could grab something like Morpeko, pretty low commitment of, you put 2 Single Strike energy on here, and then all of a sudden it's doing 30 damage for each damage counter on this. It adds up really fast, and this Morpeko can hit for a lot, and hit even more if you have a cape on there and so on. All right, and then one more deck. We'll cover one more deck that you can upgrade here, the Suicune V. And I personally, there's a couple of ways to go about it. I generally don't like running Ice Rider with Suicune. I would go 4 Suicune and then go with 4 Lotad, Lombre, 2, maybe 1, and then 4 Ludicolo. And instead of Lombres, I would put Rare Candy in there so you can jump straight from Lotad to Ludicolo. I would also add the Inteleon cards from the Urshifu deck. Actually, we're gonna do that after after this. We'll make this better. We'll put the Inteleon cards here with Suicune V, and that gives you the ability to grab whatever supporter cards you need. I would then take out Pumpkaboo, Swablu, Altaria. You don't need those. The capes are pretty clutch. The Melanie's pretty clutch, and yeah, this is also pretty close. It's pretty close to complete. Let me share the Suicune Ludicolo deck that I run. And this is one that was popularized by, I actually don't know who popularized the deck that I currently run. Again, apology. It's hard to know. It can be hard to, even when you're following the scene, to know who is the originator of any given deck. But here we go. So yeah, the way that I run, I actually run less. So I only run 2 Lotad, 2 Ludicolo, and we have Scoop Up Nets here so we can reset that ability if need be. But I do have Rare Candy, which lets you skip the middle evolution. And that's how we get about going from Lotad to Ludicolo without the middle. We then have that full Sobble, Drizzile, Inteleon line with 4 Suicunes. And I threw in a Fan of Waves because I really like that card for taking out special energy. And the big thing here is to up the count of Melanie to 4. I guess you could get away with 3. I personally like 4 just to get the extra attachments and have another Suicune ready, because as much as I like Suicune, it hits really hard, really efficiently. It does tend to get knocked out a little faster than you would hope. So every time you're fighting with Suicune, you kind of have to have the next one ready to go. And Melanie is a great card to help with that. All right, so yeah, that's that is how you upgrade most of these decks. Unfortunately, I don't have any tips for Decidueye Inteleon or Blissey or Shadow Rider because I haven't made those decks yet, but I look forward to doing that in the new Pokemon Trading Card Game Live with the credit system that makes it a lot easier to just get the exact cards that you want. What a novel concept. But yeah, let me know in the comments of this video if you're on stream, if you have any questions or any other tips you'd like to add to building out these starter decks in the game to reach their full potential.